Hello guys, let's test out our Passport middleware on a login route. So go to user.js file and you want to add two new routes. One is for get and the other one is for post. We're going to create a get first. The name will be login and you want to add an anonymous function with a parameter request and response. And then you want to give it a like if statement, like if request.user, if it is login user, then simply redirect, or you want to return it, right? Return, and then you want to redirect the user to a home route because you don't want the user to go back to the login page even though he or she already logged in. So next is you want to render the page, which will be located at accounts, and we're gonna give it the name login because we haven't created a page yet, so it's okay. And pass in a request.flash message, which will be request.flash login message. Okay, when we go back to passport.js, the request.flash for if the user doesn't exist will be no user has been found, and if the password that you type in and the password in the database doesn't match, then it will print out, it will flash this error message. Let's go back to user.js. Okay, now we have to type in route of the post, same route name, and then we're going to give it a parameter request response. So we're going to simply this time actually will be different. Why? Because we are no longer gonna create like an anonymous function and we're gonna do some mongoose kind of like built-in function like find a user or something. This time we will use what I call this passport middleware, which we wrote back in passport.js file. In order for us to do that, we have to require two files. One is passport, because we have to use one of the passport built-in function, and then we require it, passport, and the other one is the config file. We have to require this file. So type in passport config equals to require passport, dot config, and then passport. Once you're done, I'm going to close that, and then you want to type in passport dot authenticated, and you want to pass in the name that you put in here, which is the middleware name, which is local login. So copy paste this if you want to save time. Copy this and paste it here. So next you want to pass in an object, the second parameter to authenticate, which is the object. So there are three objects. First is success redirect. You want to redirect if it's successful, like kind of like if the user reached at this part, then it's considered successful. So you want to redirect the user to a profile page. We don't have the profile route yet, but we're going to create it soon. Second is failure redirect, and you want to redirect the user to a login page if the login is failed. And last one is you want to kind of like enable the request.flash, which is failure flash, and you want to enable true. So what is going on? So first I'm going to explain this code. Again, get is just to get the data. Now you're looking at the kind of like serialize and deserialize method, request.user. All right, remember when we serialize, we store the session in a temporary kind of like data store, which is Connect Mongo, and then we deserialize it and get the data, and then we kind of like have this so-called a syntax that we can use over and over again. Now if request.user, then simply redirect it to a home route, and if the user has not logged in, then just render, I'm gonna add just render a normal login page. We're gonna do shortly. And second one is this one, right? So what is going on? Okay, let me explain. You're using .post method and URL is that /login. And remember the middleware that we created in the previous lecture? We are using it right now. And it is this local login. This is the middleware. And then back in the Passport middleware, we name it as local login, right? So we name it here a local login. If we go back to here, so that's why we wrote local login. And then we pass in an object to a second parameter which holds some of the Passport built-in function, like success redirect, fail redirect. The first one is whenever users successfully log in, simply redirect the user to a profile URL. Again, if the user reaches this spot, then simply redirect the user to a profile page, meaning it's successful. Second one is if failed redirect. If user failed to log in, like wrong password, like go here, wrong password. If the user doesn't even exist or other internal error, then simply redirect the user back to a login route with the request flash message. And the third one is we enable the request.flash message. So the get page can receive the failure flash. Okay, so that's about it. So we save it. So now we gotta go to our terminal and start with server. So start the server. Alright, now we have this problem. Alright, it's like showing a weird syntax error. Alright, this has some relation to Connect Mongo. Alright, constants, this is not the ES5 syntax. This is the ES6 syntax. ES6 is a new style of writing JavaScript. And we are using ES5, kind of like the previous of way to write JavaScript. So go to your server.js and go to Mongo store right here, and you gotta specify that we are using an ES5. Sorry, /ES5. ES5, right? And save it. And let's go ahead and check whether there's another error or not. Okay, now we have another error. If not verified, throw new type. It's in strategy, local strategy. So let's go back to our Tom and let's go debug that. So go ahead and try local strategy required. We gotta delete this, right? So save it and go back to terminal and see whether there's a problem or not. Server is running on port 3000. So let's go ahead to our Postman and type in login and go back to our Mongo lab and take whichever email you think you have or you store in the database and copy it. I'm gonna copy one of my email here. I'm gonna go back to Postman and I'm gonna type an email. I'm gonna paste it here and password ABC13. Remember, we are using email because in the middleware itself we are specifying email as one of its, like a request.body, something like that. Alright, so go back to Postman and we want to send it, see what it is, and a problem or not. Okay, now we have another problem. User is not defined. So go to a terminal. Now let's go to passport.js line 22. So passport.js line 22, which is this. We forgot to require the user file. So go ahead and require it. Models user once safe. Let's go to terminal, check whether there's a problem or not. There's a problem. Let's go back to Postman and let's send it again. Hopefully there's no problem. And now we have a new problem. Throw new error pass. Well, obviously we forgot to initialize passport, and that's why we have this error, which is showing passport.initialize and stuff. So let's go ahead and require the file. Teach our Express application to learn how to use passport. So we type in app use and just type in initialize. The terminal can like give us some clue. That's why it's really good. And the next one you have to remember is we have to add passport.session. So passport.session acts as a middleware to alter the request object and change the user value that is currently the session ID from the client cookie into the true deserialized user object. And that's the reason why we need this. So once saved, this is for the serialize and deserialize. So once we save it, let's go back to our Postman and let's go ahead and send it again. Hopefully everything will work. It's loading. It's taking some time. Alright, so now this is what the response are. It's showing us cannot get this like weird error that we received back in like 6 to 8 videos. The problem right now is that everything is good, but the problem right now, if you go back to our user.js route, we put our success redirect to a profile page. But the problem right now, we didn't actually create a profile like route. So let's go ahead and do that. So get right below posts and type in, and we're gonna test to see what everything is working or not. And I want to pass in requests and response, and we're just gonna respond with the normal data. Let's go ahead and type in request a user. So let's go ahead to Postman and let's send it. Let's see what will show up. So since we already created the profile page, the profile route, so now everything is showing. So now it's working. All right, it's working. So now what we need to do is we need to create a login page and a profile page. So let's go ahead to your views, and under account you want to create a new file and you want to give it a name login.ejs. Since everything will be the same, might as well just copy the one in sign up. So copy the whole thing and go back to login and just paste it here. And we need to change this to login, and then we need to remove this one and save it. And if you go back to user route, we are using message. In sign up, we are using arrays. You have to, the data you have to put in .ejs has to be the same that you pass in your get route. It will be message. So go back to login, and you want to change this to message, and this one as well to message. And next is you want to create a new file, and you want to give it a name profile.js. So it will kind of like depend on a layout, not boilerplate. Then now we just want to put the user, the requests. So for now we're not going to do anything. I'm going to save it first. We're just going to type in hello. Let's go back, and we don't need to use Postman anymore. We just need to go to our Chrome, go to localhost, and then go to a login route. We have this login. Type in your email, which is, I kind of forget. Copy this, go back to our browser and paste it here, and type in ABC123. Submit. It's redirecting us to a profile page, which is cool, but it's not showing anything because why? Why do you think? I'll give you 5 seconds to think. Because we forgot to render the page. So go back here and render the profile. Accounts profile. And we want to do one more thing actually. We want to search for a particular user that has this user request a user ID, and you want to give it an anonymous function with a response with the array and user object. You want to copy paste this one. You want to cut this, and you want to add another callback. If error, simply return with a callback. There's no error, simply render the page with an object, which is user. Alright, so what this code actually saying is, hey database, go to users database and check whether this user ID does exist or not. If not, return a callback with an error message. If it does exist, render the profile with an additional parameter, which is this object. So I just want to let you know that basically if you pass in an extra argument like this object, it's like you are saying to .ejs, any .ejs file, hey, I have this data for you. You can use it to manipulate the HTML elements. We did this before, but I didn't actually explain it well. So go back to profile.ejs. You want to type in user.profile dot name. Save it and save this route as well, and go back to Google Chrome, and you want to go back to here. All right, so now we want to go back to login. Paste this. Sorry, you gotta copy this again. Go back here, and you want to paste it here, and you want to type in the ABC13. Submit. Let's see the magic. So here we are, hello Arash. So now everything is working fine. So in the next couple of videos, we're gonna clean up like profile page, and we're probably gonna add Facebook login. So I'll see you guys next video. Bye.